Eugeria Live, brought to you by Griswold Home Care. Eugeria is a Greek word meaning health of body and mind in aging individuals. Eugeria Live is a weekly show celebrating the heroes that contribute to the Eugeria of our elderly and disabled population. Now, joining us in the studio are your hosts, John Butler and Sam Grass.
Good afternoon. This is Sam Grass, and welcome to another broadcast of Eugeria Live, where we discuss issues that address the happiness and well-being in our senior population. Joining as co-host today is John Butler. Good afternoon, John.
Hey, Sam. Hey, everybody. It's good to be here. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Eugeria Live. Real quickly, Griswold Home Care has been in the business for providing consistently excellent in-home care in the Atlanta area for 28 plus years. And one of the things we strive to do is to bring resources to families that are living with or dealing with seniors to help them navigate all of the challenges of helping a senior loved one get through those years of their lives. And consistent with that, we have a special guest today, Cindy Nelson, the founder of Nelson Elder Care Law. And Cindy is a great resource for us. She happens to be the attorney that my wife and I used to get our paperwork lined up and in order. It was a very pleasant experience, and we're really glad to have Cindy with us today. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, thank you guys. I really appreciate you inviting me today, and it's a real pleasure to be here talking with you and to just give some information. Everybody that knows me knows I'm very big on educating people. This is an area of law that nobody knows about, so I like to spread the knowledge so that people can have that and make the right decisions.
Well, the first thing I'd like to ask you, I think it's important, not everybody really understands what are the essentials that a senior person, whether they're in their 60s or 70s or 80s or whatever it might be, a senior needs to really have in place, regardless of where they are. What are the essential documents they need to have in place?
Okay, that's a great question. And it's actually not just for seniors, but for everybody that's over 18. They should have what's called an advance directive for healthcare or a healthcare power of attorney. So that allows somebody to make medical decisions for us if there's ever a time we can't make them for ourselves. And then they also need a power of attorney for finances. So in the same situation, if there's ever a time that we can't do it ourselves, then we need to make sure someone has that legal authority. Otherwise, they have to go to court to get that authority. And then there's also what's called a living will. And a living will is what I crassly call the pull the plug document. But if you don't want to be kept alive without any quality of life, you're going to want to have a living will. And then you need to have a will that says, this is what I own, and this is who I want it to go to. And in that will, you're going to pick an executor who's the manager of the will to make sure that things go the way that you want them to. Now, all of those things really are needed by anyone over 18 because nobody can make decisions for us after we turn 18. And it really helps us to preserve as we get older our own independence and our dignity so that we know who's going to make those decisions.
So, and a power of attorney doesn't mean that your ability to make decisions is taken away from you, right?
Well, that is correct. And so with the healthcare power of attorney, John, in the state of Georgia, all of us legally can make our own medical decisions as long as we understand what that decision is and the consequences. So even if I have Alzheimer's or dementia, I can still make my own medical decisions if I understand at that time. And it's good that you clarify this because so many people think, well, I've got this power of attorney, so I get to make decisions for you. But that power of attorney for medical is never effective immediately. It's only effective if you can't make your own. But it's a little different with financial decisions. In the financial power of attorney, it can be written different ways. And if there's anything anyone takes from this, the one thing I'd want you to know is that all of these things are not forms that are the same from one lawyer to the next. These are tools that each of us craft, and they have different things that they say, which gives different legal responsibilities and authority. So with the financial power of attorney, you can make that so that it's effective immediately. But that means that whoever you're giving that authority to can go get into all your bank accounts and all of your assets right away. Or the attorney can write it so it's only effective if you lose capacity, which would be my preference. I don't want my kids getting into my finances quite yet. I'm still using them. So there are some differences with the financial power of attorney as to when it is effective. Good question.
So clarify that. What do you see has changed because of the pandemic and the way you do business and the way people are receptive to or have a sense of urgency or whatever? What is the changes you've seen because of the pandemic?
Yeah, I think that if any of us have learned anything this year, it's that we're never going to know everything that's going to happen, right? I call them curveballs of life, but they keep coming our way. With the pandemic, so because we usually work with people that are older or have some type of susceptibility to illness, we've always been good about sanitizing. We keep Clorox in business even before the pandemic. And so we've always been good about doing that. But with the pandemic, we did step that up even more. We started to do these Zoom or virtual meetings that many of our clients had never done before. Most of us have gotten a lot better at it these days than we did when we first started. So if clients are not comfortable coming in, we can do it over Zoom. But I will tell you that about the end of May, our clients were saying, we're coming in. We want to talk to you face to face and, have this discussion because it is so critical and so personal that we want to have this discussion with you in person. Now we all wear masks and we take the precautions, but that's how we've done it. We've done a lot of pivoting in the interim about drive up signings. So when it comes time for someone to sign their documents, they might pull up. We'll have a bunch of clipboards and all the places where they need to sign. We'll have them sign. We'll, have the PPE stuff on so that we're not contaminating anybody. And then we'll go over the documents on a Zoom call. And the governor also allowed us to have virtual notaries for a while. So we did that. But basically, our clients really want to meet in person.
I can understand that. That's a very, very private, very personal, very important thing to set in place. So, well, I know a lot about you all. You have a wonderful reputation. What would you say you're most proud of about Nelson Elder Care Law, or what is the one thing that differentiates you from other elder attorney practices?
Well, I think I probably have two answers to that. One that I'm most proud of is that I'm not quite sure how it happened, but everybody on my team is very passionate about helping the clients. And it's not just a job. It's not like the client comes in and we just do something, but everybody on our team has really embraced that you treat the client like it's somebody that you love. If my mother walked in the door and she was in a situation where she needed help, or she just wanted to put this framework together, I would act differently with my mother than I would if I thought she was a client. And so I've been very blessed that the entire team gets really passionate and takes it personal so that they can really give the client the best experience.
That's great. That's the way we felt when we were there.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that we were able to do it.
What would you give as one tip, a takeaway that anybody listening to this broadcast would, just something they would hold on to, one thing they need to think about?
I think that we all go through life thinking that the bad things, the getting sick, having a stroke or getting in a car accident, that all those things don't happen to us. They always happen to other people. But in reality, they're going to happen to us at some point. the chances of us getting sick and living with a chronic illness are astronomical. So put together a plan if there's people in your life that you love. I would say that it's never too early, but it can be too late.
That's really poignant. That's very important. Thank you again, Cindy, for so much for the time you spent with us and the great nuggets of information you've shared with us. And we will see you hopefully, maybe even in person very soon. Who
I
knows?
love that. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Eugeria Live is brought to you by Griswold Home Care. View this show again on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or our website at www.eugerialive.com.